From Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Marquee Sports Network brings you Chicago Cubs baseball. It's the rubber game of a three-game series, the Cubs and the Brewers coming up. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Taylor McGregor here in a second. But, JD, what a wild finish as the Cubs came from behind in the ninth last night.
Yeah, you talk about getting up off the deck, having been shut out in game one of the series, shut out through 8 innings last night. And Josh Hader, who's basically been Voldemort to National League hitters, comes out of the bullpen, and they managed to put 4 consecutive hits against him. That has never happened. Back-to-back home runs. Hayward got a 1-2 fastball. Inside corner wasn't a horrible pitch, but he jumps all over it. Rizzo had hit a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Vargas follows up the Hayward home run with one of his own. Really, the only really bad pitch made by Hader in that sequence. So now the Cubs lead 4-2. Kimbrel gives up back-to-back knocks. The Brewers have life. Big play here by Vargas. A good heads-up play, keeping not one but 2 men out of scoring position. And then ultimately the soft line out to end the ball game. So just a crazy, improbable, and huge win for the Cubs last night.
So, entering last night, opponents 0 for 30 against Hader with 2 strikes. Second time he's given up in his career, a homer to a lefty with 2 strikes. Cody Bellinger was the first. How about Ildemaro Vargas? That was a big insurance home run right after the Hayward blast. And then Craig Kimbrel with save number 348, 12th most all-time as he passes Randy Myers. With more on last night's win, Taylor McGregor.
Well, Len, we could dive into so much about last night's win and how great it was to see the offense really come alive against a star reliever like Josh Hader. But what's the question now is, how does this impact the Cubs moving forward? David Ross addressed that post-game about how he believes the confidence could really be huge for this team.
Once you've done it, once you've come back, once you've, faced one of the best in the game and beat them at the back end when things weren't going good throughout the day, I think that's extremely rewarding as a group, and it mentally gives you a lot of momentum and a lot of positivity when things might be going bad. You continue to have your at-bats, you continue to trust in your teammates. Those things are important, especially going forward. And if we want to continue on the championship path that we want to be on.
And especially when you continue on that championship path, you're going to see the star relievers like Josh Hader night in and night out. And so, Len, for them to see pitchers like that as we get into the stretch run is going to be really big.
Thank you, Taylor. No question. And the standings look like this. They maintain their 3-game lead as the Cardinals beat the Reds last night. The second and third place teams, they're going to play 10 more times over the final 2 weeks. So it looks good for the Cubs with just 13 games left in the season. Coming up, we'll preview today's starting pitching matchup. Stay with us. Just minutes away from the first pitch from Miller Park as these 2 teams wrap up the 10-game regular season series. Let's dive into the pitching matchup, a battle of right-handers. Alec Mills coming off a win his last time out. Adrian Hauser was pretty good his first couple of starts. It has been a major struggle since. And, JD, for Mills, he was on his game on Tuesday night against the Reds.
Yeah, indeed he was. After a couple of subpar outings, he bounced back in fine fashion against Cincinnati. 6 scoreless innings. He struck out 6, walked 3. Fastball command was really good, and he leaned heavily on that pitch. He was about 70% heater in that game against the Reds. Generated a lot of swings and misses with that breaking ball once he established the heater.
So Mills for the Cubs, Hauser for the Brewers, and this season series ends today. The Cubs looking for a 5-5 split with the Brewers. Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Life or Death Illinois. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com. And by Prevagen. Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. That Josh Hader reaction after the second home run said it all. Miller Park, the site for Cubs baseball today. Let's check out the Cubs lineup brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Through it all. Happ, Rizzo, Contreras. You see their OPS on the season to the right. Schwarber, Baez, Hayward, no Chris Bryant today. Kipnis, Caratini, and Bodie rounded out.
Hey, here we go. We're playing ball.
And outside, ball one from Hauser to Happ.
And just for a little context, the average OPS in Major League Baseball is 746, I believe. Well, you know, you always talk about momentum after a big win like the game last night. There are those of us who are a little skeptical about that whole concept of momentum. I count myself among that group.
Popped up. Sogard, the third baseman, will make the catch.
Starting pitcher for the Brewers is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Adrian Hauser has thrown a lot of sinkers this year. He's become much more of a ground ball guy. And because of that, the strikeout rate is down. The ERA is up. Four-seamer, changeup, curve, slider to go along with his sinking fastball. Last three, he's 0-2 with a 9.22 ERA.
Here's Anthony Rizzo. The roof closed again, 65 degrees. Panels are open. And low for ball one.
And that leads me back to my momentum conversation. You know, the old cliche in baseball is momentum is tomorrow night's starting pitcher for your club. But sometimes it's the starting pitcher for the other club. And Hauser's really been scuffling.
Change up.
Yeah, I was impressed with him last year. Good stuff, good velocity plays. He's been hit hard here lately. 22 hits in his last 13 2/3 innings.
So got off to a good start. In the last 6, not so good.
Yeah, and burning through as much bullpen as he did last night, Craig Counsell's going to probably lean on Hauser to give him some innings here today.
Rizzo came off the bench last night. Big single right ahead of the go-ahead homer by Hayward in the 9th. He got him swinging for the first strikeout. Out number 2 here in the first.
Brewers defensively is brought to you by Jim Beam. Jacob Nottingham, he was the catcher for the opening game of the series. He gets that assignment here this afternoon. Infield, Sogard, our first look at him in this series as a starter. Arcia, Hira, and Jerko round out the infield. In the pasture, it's Avi Garcia in center, Christian Yelich with a Gold Glove, and Ben Gamble left and right.
Contreras takes a fastball outside. Hitless in the series. Reached on a hit by pitch. He has scored 30 runs. That leads the Cubs. Cal McVay in 1877, the only catcher in franchise history to lead the team in runs. It was the White Stockings back then. Cal scored 58 times in a 60-game schedule.
High average hitter with good speed. He was known to enjoy a cocktail or two. Grew up on a farm in western Michigan.
Really?
No, none of those facts are true, as far as I know. But they could be. Here's what I do know. Kyle Schwarber struck out for the first out in the ball game in the 9th inning last night. The Brewers had a 96% chance of winning, and it felt greater than that with what had gone on with the Cubs offensively and with Hader out there on the mound. Just crazy, wacky baseball moment.
That's why it's such a great game.
They got 4 consecutive hits off Hader, That had never happened to him in his career. 4 hits in an inning had never happened to him in his career. Since he came into the league, opposing batters hitting 144 against the lowest in Major League Baseball. And the Cubs have been scoreless for 17 consecutive innings. They had 6 hits total in the series coming into that inning.
Swing and a miss. Hauser strikes out 2 in the first. So Alec Mills will don his cap and face the Brewers bats when we return. Brewers starting 9. Brought to you by Advocate Health. Garcia, Yelich, and Hira at the top. No Ryan Braun to start the afternoon. Vogelbach, Jerko, Gamble in the middle. Arcia, Sogard, and Nottingham getting his second start of the weekend. He'll bat 9th.
Starting pitcher for the Cubs is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. It's Alec Mills making start number 9. Sinker, 4-seamer, change, curve, and slider. The pitches he features, 4-3, 4.74 ERA. First ever start in Miller Park. Second start against the Brewers this year.
Lost to Milwaukee at Wrigley on August 14th.
Yeah, and an outing which he was really sharp. Ended up giving up 4 runs in 6 innings. A 3-run homer in the 6th by Yelich on a hanging changeup, his undoing. But other than that, on that particular day, he was really sharp.
Chris Siegel is a home plate umpire. Ron Culpa is at first. Manny Gonzalez at second, and Todd Titchener at third. The 1-0 to Garcia. He's hit foul off to the right. Avisail has had a nice month of September, hitting .444. Working a 3-game multi-hit streak. Going up under his chin.
Shift on.
Shift, yep, to the left against the right-handed hitter, and a round toward right in the outfield. Just missed the inside corner. And it's 3-1. Struggling Christian Yelich on deck. The wind and the pitch. Fastball.
Yeah, late.
3-2.
90 miles up above the hands. Garcia has power. Never been a big home run threat. 20 last year for the Rays. This season, he hits the ball on the ground a lot. Big, strong guy. If he were to launch it a little bit more often, he'd probably be capable of 30-plus home runs in a full season.
In the middle of the zone and hit pretty well, but for an out as Hayward will chase it down.
Cubs defensively brought to you by Geico. There's Victor Caratini behind the plate for Alec Mills this afternoon. Bodie and Baez cover the left side of the infield. Kipnis and Rizzo second, first. Tiptoe out to the pasture where we'll find Ian Happ in center. Jason Hayward, he had the 5 Gold Gloves in the heroics last night in right. Kyle Schwarber gets left.
Breaking ball misses on Yelich. He does not look like the Christian Yelich we're used to seeing. This weekend, he's 0 for 7 with a walk and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, he was completely baffled by Kyle Hendricks. He ultimately hit the ball sharply off Kyle's last time up with the previous 2 strikeouts. He was so late on the fastball. He was kind of bewildered by the changeup.
Runs into the shift. That is Kipnis to make the play.
Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Yeah, pen is mightier. The Cubs bullpen over the last 2-3 weeks has been really good, and conversely, Craig Counsell's got limited options out there because he used a lot of his bullpen last night. Some of his bigger arms likely not available, and on the move. You start some base runners today for the Cubs against Hauser, who Gets a lot of balls on the ground.
Strike called on Keston Hiura. Started every game for Milwaukee. 34 now at second base, 10 at the DH position. Sinkers bounced foul. 1-2. Cubs finally have an off day tomorrow. This ends a busy stretch of 14 games over 13 days. They're 7-6 so far.
Pretty significant drop-off in the rate stats for Hiura this year. Had an outstanding rookie season last year. Had a 302, 19 home runs, 368 on base, 570 slug. But 402 when he put the ball in play, so you figured that had to come down a little bit. And he's hitting 287 balls in play this year, which is much closer to league average.
Just missed the target on a full count. Brent Suter got the start last night. Swing and a miss. As Mills strikes out, his memorable moment is brought to you by Prevagen, the #1 pharmacist recommended memory support brand. The legendary double play combo, Joe Tinker, Johnny Evers, Frank Chance, started together at the short, second, first, respectively, for the first time on this date. It was against St. Louis, and the Orphans, who would later become known as the Cubs, won the game 12-0. All three in the Hall of Fame, all three managed the Chicago National League franchise. Chance was a player manager when they went to the World Series in 06, 07, 08. He led the majors in runs scored in 1906, 57 stolen bases.
I think they lived on the farm with Dorothy, too. Pretty sure, looking at those photos. His Uncle Henry and the rest of the gang there from Kansas. Well, they were really good, but we wouldn't be talking about them if not for the poem, right? Franklin Adams, 1910. Baseball sad. Right. Lexicon really kind of made them famous.
Right. It's not as if we would never talk about them, but the three together.
Yeah. Yeah. The story goes that Adams was a big baseball fan, and he wanted to go to the ballpark to watch the Giants play the Cubs. He wrote for the New York Evening Mail, and his editor said, "I need 8 lines from you before you go." So he sat down and rattled off that poem, which begins, "These are the saddest of possible words, Tinker to Evers to Chance, ... I won't read the whole poem.
You can if you want.
I don't know.
You've got time.
I'll save it for the poetry slam.
Open mic. Full count on Schwarber, who last night snapped an 0 for 20. And good take as he is aboard.
The little things in life often mean the most. It's the same with washing hands, wearing a mask, and social distancing, because the virus is a big deal. And when you do the little things, you can stop its spread. Advocate Aurora Health. We're here for you.
Here comes Javier Baez. 2-hit night on Saturday's home road splits are bizarre. 157 at Wrigley Field, 271 everywhere else. 5 of his 6 home runs have come on the road.
Yeah, and not getting much done against right-handed pitching at all.
play ball. About as routine as those things are. 6 to 4 to 3. Not Tinker to Evers to Chance. Arcia to Hira to Jerko.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Tinker to Evers to Chance, but this is what I was talking about on the move. You know, start some base runners. You got a guy that puts the ball on the ground a lot, better than 60% ground ball rate for Hauser. So at some point, Rossi might start to think about starting some base runners. You know, not necessarily straight steal, but put people in motion to try to stay out of a double play.
Saddest words of all. Arcia to Hira to Jerko.
Pricking our Gonfalon bubble.
What?
Yeah, that's another line in the poem.
Last night's hero in the 9th stayed short with 2 strikes and let Hader's velocity do the work.
Yeah, it's kind of been the narrative with Jason Hayward this year, right? Really good with 2 strikes, but none better than that performance last night. 2 strikes against Hader with that fastball-slider combination. If you're protecting against fastball up or slider away, how on earth do you get to that heater in? But he did it.
Outside, 3-0. I love the Freddie Freeman story, too. Freeman homered for Jason on his birthday, and Hayward returned the favor last night. He walked him, second walk of the inning.
Number 27, Jason Kipnis.
Jason Kipnis. Pitcher and catcher will talk it over. Keep an eye on the Reds and Cardinals today. They are just underway in St. Louis. Tyler Mahle working for the Reds. Carlos Martinez for the Cards. And ball 1. Man on, 2 down, second inning. Hauser home, and the sinker just missed.
Yeah, that's the one there. You got to lay off, force him up in the zone a little bit.
There's a strike. Last time we saw him pitch against the Cubs, we thought Doogie would be a good nickname for him. I came up with Yo. So you were going with the surname. I went with the first name.
Yo, Adrian.
Yeah.
Well, we got like a Simpsons thing here too with Mills and Hauser. We got Mills Hauser. You know, the Millhouse matchup.
Two on Kipnis. 3 home runs in his first year as a Cub. Cubs 27-20. Led the division every day but 1. Milwaukee 20-23. That's how devastating that loss was for them last night. Had they won that game, they'd have a shot to get to 500 today.
And rolling into a series in which they play 2 doubleheaders against the Cardinals in the next 3 days. Chance to really make a stand. As good of a win as that was for the Cubs, more devastating loss for the Brewers.
I think that's right. Yep. It was the Cubs' signature win this season. because they are the front runners. Hayward was on the move. Just kind of need to hold serve the rest of the way. Jerko still holding Hayward. And the pitch. Fly ball center field. Garcia now in a couple of strides, and he's got it. 2-0 tie, bottom two from Milwaukee, and welcome to our Budweiser broadcast booth. This Bud's for you. After today, 2 weeks left in the regular season. It's incredible.
A fortnight.
That's it, yeah.
Rarely do you get to use that, so I'm going to wear it out. Yeah, it's gone unbelievably fast. It's gone mostly well. I mean, the Cubs, it's been an interesting club to follow, obviously. They got off to that great start. Despite having those bullpen issues, bullpens sometimes take a while to sort out. So David Ross was patient, worked some different guys into the mix. I think he's very happy with where his bullpen is now. Still has some issues with the rotation due to injury. John Lester, really good last time. That was great to see. So it's going to be really interesting to see what October brings. Looking at one statistical model today, had the Cubs the overwhelming favorite to win the division, but actually gave the Cardinals a better chance to win the pennant.
Interesting.
And of course, the Dodgers with the greatest chance of anybody to win the World Series. I want to say they had like an 18% chance to win the World Series. Nobody else was in double digits.
Vogelbach strikes out swinging.
Fastball right by him. Two-seamer, inner half, up a little bit. Alec very workmanlike out there. Does not waste a lot of time.
Down.
Interesting guy. We had him on the podcast this week. Went to the University of Tennessee Martin with the idea of becoming an engineer, and decided to kind of walk on the baseball team. Walking by the field and for a couple of days, maybe I should give it a go. A very good athlete in high school, baseball, golfer, good basketball player. So he started, went down through a bullpen for the coach. They said, come on back, throw for us again. He came back a couple of days later, did it again. And he just kept showing up, and they never said, you're on the team or you're not on the team. So he just kept showing up at the field. And from those humble beginnings, a big league career.
Alec, a very thoughtful guy. He said his changeup was way better after Tommy John surgery 7 years ago than it was before the procedure. Couldn't really explain why. Used that as a silver lining in terms of the reconstructive operation.
Asked him about his high school basketball career, and he said, well, back then, I weighed about 125 pounds soaking wet, so I just stood in the corner and shot threes.
Blistered on the ground, foul. Still 1-2 on Jerko. Here it is. A liner out into deep center half. Makes the grab on the warning track. Well, really took off.
I missed his spot, but he got away with it. And a round of applause from Mills. to have. Look how big the eyes get for Jerko, man. They were trying to crowd him. And that ball out over the plate and down a little bit. He gives it a good ride in hot pursuit. One quick peek to find the wall, then back on the baseball. Well done.
Ben Gamble. Curve strike. This is his 30th start, career .308 hitter against Cubs pitching. So the latest on the Padres and the Giants, they're going to play a doubleheader today. Apparently it was a false positive, baseball believes, for Alex Dickerson. So he will be eligible to play today for the Giants. So at the end of the day, that's good news.
Yeah, it sure is. Especially this late in the year when the opportunities to make up those games starting to dwindle.
That is a two-out walk. First time the Brewers have had traffic.
Yeah, I just don't think Alec felt good about the pitch selection there. I think he just wasn't comfortable with that. A lot of times you'll see that 3-1 fastball, and he just didn't feel comfortable throwing it in there and basically spiked it and said, let's move on to the next guy.
Well, the shortstop, Arcia. One hit in the series, that was a double. Foul strike.
Mills with a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, curve, slider change, as we talked about. The one outlier pitch is that curveball because he throws it so slowly. 65, 66 miles per hour at times.
Right matchup. They're going in. And on a bounce played by Kipnis, so 2 complete on a Sunday afternoon. 0-0. If the postseason started today, these would be the matchups. I really hope it's Rays Yankees in the first round. White Sox would play the Astros, and they would be the home team for that series. National League, Dodgers Marlins would be intriguing. And the Cubs and the Cardinals, a possible wild card round matchup. You can't pick your first round opponent, but I'll just say, as much fun as that sounds, Cardinals would be a tough first round matchup.
Bring them on.
And in a 3-game series, I suppose anything is possible.
Yeah.
So can't overanalyze it. I also feel like, at least I do, know so little about the teams in the other divisions in the National League because we haven't seen them. At least the Western Division team since spring training and the Eastern Division team since last year.
Giants have been a huge surprise. They would be a playoff team if the season ended today. American League picture looks pretty clear. It's a little murkier in the NL. The Padres, man, they've got the second best record in the league.
And we're the busiest team at the trade deadline. Caratini takes a fastball in the dirt at 96 from Hauser. David Bodie on deck, and then the leadoff man, Ian Happ. Hauser ready for a 2-2, and it's wide of the mark. Must be in the front row. Bob Uecker.
Hanging out with Robin Yount there, I believe.
Yeah, 50 years as the voice of the Brewers, and I texted with him the other day as Caratini strikes out. Uke's doing okay, but kind of like everybody else. Happy to be working, but wishes he could have a little more in-person interaction.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's the fun of being at Miller Park.
Absolutely.
Chatting with Uke.
Uke comes striding through the press lounge with his shades on. Leaves the ballpark every day driving a Batmobile. He's what, 80 what? Uke?
Uke is, I want to say, 87.
As old as you
86.
feel, and he lives like he's 32.
Yeah, he turns 87 in January.
Remarkable life.
Bodie sprays this one foul. Right, so if you know, you think of Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, I suppose Mr. Brewer, you could say Robin Yount. In terms of the Brewers franchise, you could argue it's Bob Uecker. That's the first name you think of.
But when Carson used to introduce him all the time, it was Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball, right. Mr. Brewer's baseball. Bodie pops it up. Hira out in the grass.
Folks, the MLB app is the only place to get all your baseball action, in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboard, standings, and much more. Download the MLB app today, the #1 app for live baseball.
Happ now 3 for his last 31. 16 strikeouts. And a breaking ball is on the outside corner. He's been pounded with off-speed stuff this season. That's kind of turned a little bit, and so trying to get geared up for the fastball.
Yeah, hitters just talk about, you know, kind of playing hunches and, you know, sitting on certain pitches and certain counts, or being 80-20, you know, kind of not necessarily selling out on the fastball, but kind of sitting more fastball than breaking ball. Assuming that's Kyle Hendricks.
Might have been Kyle Evans. Couldn't tell. Going with Kyle Evans.
Some Kyle.
It's a Kyle. Happ is safe as the throw, I believe, from Arcia. Yeah, pulled Jerko off the bag. That was about as routine a play as you'll find, and door has opened here with 2 outs. Safe play brought to you by Life or Death Illinois. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com.
Yes, if you're looking to make an excuse for Arcia, as he typically plays on the other side of the diamond, and that's a little bit of a different throw for him, but that's a lame excuse. He wouldn't make it. I'll try to bail him out a little bit.
Even the best infielders, you know, they're going to make a throw like that occasionally, and typically it's when they have a lot of time.
Yeah, from the other side of the diamond, too, you're kind of used to winding it up and letting it fly. That's a shorter throw, so maybe a little different mechanically. Jerko's not a natural first baseman, so the footwork over there not really smooth. And more seasoned first baseman like Rizzo might have been able to bail him out.
Wallop foul. Rizzo's really trying to make it hurt after that error.
See Riz after the big knock last night, coming off the bench, going without the undershirt, got the gold chain.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Well, it's week 1 in the NFL. The Chicago Bears on the road in Detroit. But in honor of that, we thought we would relive the rich history between the Bears and Wrigley Field. For nearly 50 years, the Bears played a majority of their home games right here at Wrigley Field. It goes back to the days when they were still the Chicago Staleys, and this was still Cubs Park. Yesterday, we showed you some special memorabilia that was found here at Wrigley Field throughout the years. Well, this is part of that collection, and these are first down markers from when the Bears used to play here. They were found underneath Wrigley a few years ago. Guys, we talked so much about the evolution of those tickets last night, but how about the evolution of the first down markers from these? And then we don't know exactly what year they were from, but we're guessing the 20s or 30s until now. What do you think?
Yeah, those are pretty wild looking. Did there used to be numbers up on the kind of the plate part of it?
I don't see any numbers. I did look for that. Nothing that I can see.
Those are pretty old.
Maybe they held up fingers for the downs.
Yeah.
That's possible. Yeah, 341 games, NFL games were played at Wrigley Field. Called strike 3. Sogard is out on strikes. Mostly the Bears. The Chicago Cardinals made Wrigley Field their home in the 1930s as well.
So this breaking ball coming in at 76 miles an hour. We talked about how Mills will flip a mid-60s curveball up there every now and then. That's strikeout number 3 for him.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
The first game played at Wrigley Field was October 10th, 1920. That was a Sunday. The Cardinals and the Chicago Tigers played to a 0-0 tie.
Guys, and where I'm standing on the field right now is the south end zone. So it used to run north to south here at Wrigley. And one of the reasons that they had to relocate is just this end zone was too small. It was only 9 yards in length, about a yard short from what it should have been, and there just was too much injuries that they potentially were risking because the NFL really started to pass a lot more, and so players getting to the back of the end zone. One of the few reasons, also the TV cameras that needed to be added, and of course the amount of fans who were attending the games.
Thanks, Taylor. Bears beat the Packers 35-17 in the final Bears game at Wrigley on December 13th, 1970. 3-1 on Nottingham. Here it is. And a ground ball to Kipnis.
After 225 years, you'd think we'd look to our past. Nope. We're looking to our future, where we're innovating every day to raise Jim Beam for 225 years to come.
Two down. Here's Garcia. This will be a quick 1-2-3 for Alec Mills. Hey, Cubs fans, go to MarqueeSportsNetwork.com for the latest Cubs news and in-depth feature stories presented by Jeff Vukovich, your local Nationwide insurance agent. Visit JeffVuk.com today. Nationwide is on your side. The pets section at Miller Park. No hits in this game. We get into the fourth.
Feels like a trend.
Talked about low batting averages. Cubs came in at 226. Milwaukee 227. That would have been a hit probably 15 years ago, but not with shifting.
Yeah, well, maybe 5 years ago. And that's part of it. Part of the reason why batting averages are down. Defenses are being deployed more intelligently because of all the data. And willingness to try something different. Shifts have definitely suppressed batting average.
Schwarber fouls away. He walked to lead off the second and was quickly eliminated on a double play ball.
So the debate becomes, how do you want to try to beat the shift? Do you train hitters, develop hitters, or sign hitters who have the ability to hit the ball in all directions? And that becomes a focus for your organization. Or do you try to hit the ball over the shift? And that's what most middle-of-the-order hitters have tried to do. That's why we talk so much about launch angle, guys. You know, ball and play on the ground, not as good a formula as it used to be. So let's try to hit it over the outfielders' heads and maybe strike out a little bit more often, maybe pop up a little bit more often. But when we do put it in play, we have a better chance of doing damage.
To Schwarber, backed him away. You hear the term 3 true outcomes brought to you by DraftKings. That is home runs, strikeouts, and walks. And the idea is defense not needed, non-balls in play. And Schwarber on twice. One of those 3 true outcomes again.
Third walk issued by Hauser here this afternoon. That really hasn't been a big problem for him this year. Walk rate right around league average. Strikeout rate is down significantly from last year. And again, that may be because he's throwing the sinker more, chasing ground balls. 6 and 7 last year with a 3.72 ERA. 18 starts, 17 appearances out of the bullpen. His ERA 5.48 coming into this start. Down near the bottom in the league.
Strike to Baez. Hauser's from Oklahoma. Alec Mills from Tennessee. Hit on the ground at third, and Sogard couldn't handle it. So that'll be another Brewers error, and that should have been a double play.
And it would have been the second ground ball double play from Javi here today. His ball is sharply hit, and Sogard just gets caught in between. The safe play is brought to you by Life or Death Illinois. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com. Do I charge? Do I back up? Where's that friendly hop?
Hayward with 2 on, a walk and an error. And the pitch, and that ball will land in left. And the Cubs will grab the lead. Schwarber scores. It's 1-0. There's the first hit.
Didn't exactly tear the cover off of it, but he got the job done. It's an off-speed pitch. It's an inside-out swing. Down near the label, a little floater to left. A long way for Yelich to go to retrieve it. That makes it easy for Will Venable to send Kyle Schwarber home. Go home, young man.
Both guys moving up a base is significant, and the Brewers bring their infield in. hasn't gotten a scoring decision on that Sogard play. It's got to be an error. And they just made the call. It is an error. Double for Hayward on that little bleeder out in the left.
Hauser has struck out 4 today, all swinging, and no doubt that's what he has in mind here. Kipnis did him a favor going after that high heater.
Ground ball, and they're going to throw nowhere. Everybody safe. Hauser looking for some help defensively, and he hasn't gotten much the last 2 innings. I don't know if Hira really had a play on Baez, but his goal was to throw to the plate.
Yeah, infield in. He charges this ball aggressively. I mean, that's the mandate when you got the infield in there. You got it in for a reason. You're going to try to cut that run off. This is a very difficult read for an infielder. You want to be aggressive. You want to try to get that runner. But I'm with you. I think if he does everything right here, I still think he's not going to get Baez.
I agree with you.
Almost took a page out of the Harlem Globetrotters there, going Hira to Hauser to first, but they did not get the out.
Chris Hook is out to probably try to tell Hauser, you've made your pitches.
Yeah. Keep battling. Guys aren't making the plays behind you. We need you to pick us up. You be the man here.
So 2-0, first and third, and the batter is Victor Caratini.
Situation here where a lot of managers like to put the safety squeeze on with 1 out, first and third, especially when things are going a little awry in the infield. Guys' brains are spinning around. It might have been part of the message from Hook, too. Be aware of the potential squeeze.
Still waiting. Okay, so it is an error. Kipnis will get an RBI. So that's 3 Brewers errors.
Coming into this series, they had made the fewest errors in the National League.
Double play depth in the middle. Caratini into shallow center, and it's going to drop. 3-0.
Right now, Adrian Hauser's like, what have I done? Why, baseball gods, are you tormenting me like this? Soft contact, errors, flares, bloopers, bleeders, liars and criers. Makes a good pitch with the changeup, catches Caratini out in front.
David Bodie swings and misses.
Can't take Hauser completely off the hook. It was the 1-out walk to Schwarber that got things started. And as Joe says, good things happen when you put the ball in play.
That's true to a point. Sogard makes that play cleanly at third. It's a double play and the inning's over. Bodie got clipped to load the bases.
Bodie, a lot of guys like to work hard in on Bodie, up and in with action, moving in towards his hands, precisely what Hauser tries here.
Here's Happ with 3 on and 3 already in. Swing and a miss on a slider. Maybe a change up.
I think slide ball.
A little slider break to it. Lined, and it'll get in there. Kipnis scores. Caratini right behind him. 5-0.
Oh, here's some solid contact. Ian Happ, who has not had a whole lot of that lately. Nose right on it, backdoor slider. Lashes that line drive to left. Some charity from the Brewers, and the Cubs taking full advantage.
That big 5-run fourth on Thursday, and the comeback win at home over the Reds. Anthony Rizzo, 9th Cub to bat in the inning.
Toyota home run replay. Anthony Rizzo v. Adrian Hauser, August 15th. First pitch fastball at 94 miles an hour. And he goes oppo. And the gauntlet of cheer awaits.
One to Anthony. He has struck out both times.
Is he still rocking the chain? Maybe decided to lose the chain after punching out twice.
It's a good question. Do you commit? He's got the chain. Do you commit to the sartorial superstitions through the entire game?
He may have added one. Might be something else going on there.
With more chains.
Jobu.
Solgaard with a good effort. For naught.
Precisely what Craig Counsell did not want to see on many levels here, with the pitch count rising on Hauser and his club down 5 already after a heartbreaking loss last night. Still only one out in this inning. 7 consecutive have reached.
Contreras made an out, first batter of the inning. Nobody's been retired since. Another 1-2 to Rizzo, and a ground ball foul.
David Ross said that Rizzo was talking about at bat against Hader all night long last night, anticipating the at bat against Hader. He delivered on 0-2.
Little low. Again, tried to frame him, didn't work. Sets up a 2-2, and he fouled it off his foot. 3 hits in the inning, 2 big errors, a walk, a hit batter, filling up the Ways to reach base bingo card.
We need a catcher's interference here at some point.
Not much of this is going to end up being earned on Hauser's record, but all the runs count. Rizzo strikes out for the third time. And it'll bring up Contreras for his second plate appearance of the inning.
He's really going to challenge Anthony's commitment to the chain and the no undershirt. Spike breaking ball gets the chase. Even the best in the business not immune to the want to drive in that run fever that hitters get.
Swing and a miss on a slider. .82 pitches for Hauser. Pitch count's going to get him at some point. His counsel wanted to get 6 or 7 out of him. May not have that much gas in the tank. One and one. High that time.
Yeah, a lot of high-stress pitches in this inning, a lot of pitches, period, in this inning. And the analogy is a good one of a boxer just needs to get to the corner and regroup after a tough round. Well, I'll let you judge whether it's a good analogy or not. I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to grade my own paper.
You can if you want. It's your microphone.
Well, those were the days when you got to grade your own paper. What about this misspelling, Mr. Deshays? Hey, they're very similar. Details, details, details. There is action in the Milwaukee bullpen.
Full count on Contreras. JP Feyereisen. Will take off on 3-2, 2 outs.
.35 pitches so far in the inning for Hauser. This will be the end of the line for him.
Another 3-2. Another foul.
So the only question is, will the final line be 4 innings or 3 2/3? Could mean some roster adjustments for the Brewers for a doubleheader tomorrow. They'll get to add one.
They've got a 5-game series coming up against the Cardinals. Garcia drifting into right center.
Oh, man, he almost dropped that ball.
You're right. Cubs score 5 times in the inning. Hayward, the big double. Half the 2-run single as a part of it. 5-0 in the fourth. Cubs on the top of this fourth inning. So Alec Mills, who has not surrendered a hit through 3, back out there facing Yelich, Hira, and Vogelbach. Fastball strike. I know who enjoyed that inning. Ooh, big Cubs fan, Shar Schwabero. Happy birthday, Shar. Watching in Naperville, rooting on the Cubs. Hope to see you back here at Wrigley Field when it's safe to return. Caught by Schwarber as Yelich lines out. Well, most starting pitchers give up a little more in the middle innings than they do early. But not Alec Mills this season, brought to you by DraftKings.
Yeah, opponent average significantly lower from the fourth inning on. Walks plus hits per innings pitched, slugging all down. So he's a guy who's gotten better as the game has moved along.
Ball 1 on Hira.
Well, this is the time to throw that spare ball. Pick the 5-pin right down the middle. 5-run lead, 2-0 count. There you go. And you don't necessarily go out there with a big league with the idea that I'm just going to be uber aggressive and just start pumping balls over the heart of the plate. You're just asking for trouble with that approach. But with a big lead, when you get into a hitter's count, you're much more willing to throw it in there with that, see how far you can hit it mindset.
Not happy with himself. Pitch in the dirt. Second walk he has given up.
Cub fans in Illinois may purchase Cubs Charities 50/50 raffle tickets for all home and away games. That makes it all games. Fans can purchase raffle tickets online as early as 11 a.m. until the end of the game. Proceeds will benefit Cubs Charities. Purchase your ticket now at cubs.com/raffle. And I suggest the next time I read that, you record that at home so you can remember, so you can do it as early as 11 a.m., even for a night game.
Yeah, get in early.
Yeah, put it on your phone.
Be a good ringtone. Your voice.
Oh, gosh. Every time I say Vogelbach, I think Oglethorpe from the movie Slapshot.
Who got that call was never in the strike zone until he hit the mitt, according to Chris Siegel. Another one, 68. Developed that slow curve because previously his slider and curve were too much alike. Needed more of a separation. Ground ball, could be 2, should be 2, is 2. The Chicago Cubs and Advocate Healthcare send thanks and gratitude to all the healthcare heroes in the Chicagoland area who continue their tireless efforts to keep us safe and healthy today and every day. Hauser back out there.
Well, It was wrong. Count's going to try to squeeze one more out of him. Schwarber, 2 trips, 2 walks so far this afternoon. Left-handed batters hitting .358 against Hauser this year. Allowed 6 home runs on the year, 5 of them coming to left-handed hitters. So been able to neutralize the righties, but the lefties wearing them out.
Two count as Nottingham slides toward the outside, and that's where the pitch was. Schwarber in a position potentially to walk for the 3rd time. He'd like to do some damage to get something to hit. We'll do it again.
Probably would have been ball 4, but up where he could reach it. And so drive that ball the other way and inflict some damage. At times today, flying open, and that ball will run up and away. Well, there you go.
3 plate appearances, 3 walks.
Who powers Chicago? We do. We consistently invest in better construction, better careers, better communities. Powering Chicago. IBEW 134 NECA, Chicago.
Javi bounced into a double play in the 2nd, and the double play that wasn't turned in the 4th was the play of this game. Sometimes you're just kind of guessing, but that double play should have been turned, and we could still be here in a scoreless tie. And the Cubs took full advantage of the Sogard miscue. High for a ball.
And even if they don't get 2 there, well, that it certainly should have gotten at least an out. Attacking him with fastballs here, 3 consecutive heaters. When you look at the numbers on Javi last year to this, it's one of the things that stands out. He's just getting beat by fastballs more often than normal. We know all about the issues with the breaking ball off the corner, how he'll chase that pitch. But when he gets the fastball in the zone, he's not driving it as much as he normally does.
That's a base hit. Schwarber to 3rd. Javi got in. Some slow dirt. I think he got really slowed down on the headfirst dive. But then did a little bit of that swim move to get the hand in.
Well, they sent Hauser back out there, and Greg Counsell trying to get a little more out of him, but it has not panned out. The walk to Schwarber sets up Baez, hits it on the ground again, this time with authority. Beyond the diving Arcia. Yeah, you're right. He did kind of slow down, but there it is. A little sleight of hand move by Javi. Left foot green.
Time for a pitching change. We'll be back.
Tickets to your must-have matchups before they're available to the general public. For details, visit Cubs.com/deposits.
Budweiser pitching change. Here's the 10th Wisconsin-born major leaguer to play for the Brewers. He's from River Falls. J.P. Feyereisen.
He has more E's in his name than the Brewers have committed today.
Ooh. By one.
By one. They still have a chance to get there. 6 1/3 innings, 4 appearances for the rookie right-hander and a 5.68 ERA.
So second and third, nobody out, infield in, Hayward the batter. Definitely the guy you'd want at the plate in this spot. He's made great contact all year. Not striking out.
Fastball slider change for Feyereisen.
23 walks, 25 strikeouts. It's basically a 1-to-1 ratio for Hayward. It's excellent. This one popped up. So that'll be one away. Nobody advancing. And here comes Kipnis.
Second baseman, number 27, Jason Kipnis.
Check in on Jason's infield fly rate. I think it's got to be way down. Yeah. So percentage of fly balls that are infield pop-ups. His career number is 16%. That is above Major League average, which is usually around 13. This year it's 4%.
Kind of like Joey Votto.
Yeah. His line drive rate typically is about 23 to 25%. This year, 39. So those numbers, they matter. They tell the story of a hitter's season, usually.
Yeah, it's, sometimes you have to dig deep to get the whys and the what have you, but you would think he'd be hitting for a higher average with that high line drive rate.
He's got the lowest ground ball to fly ball ratio of his career. That's Jason Hayward. 1-2 on Kipnis.
Well, I'll tell you why. The batting average is down. The strikeout rate is way up. Balls in play, 391. But he struck out 34% of the time. Career mark is 19%.
1-2, and Kipnis takes it in the dirt.
Brewers infield in, at least part way. Arcia kind of staying back a little bit. Here a tighter on the pull side.
At the end of the bat, and Yelich will make the catch. Schwarber will score. Also Baez safe at third, 6-0. Sac fly Kipnis. He's knocked in 2 today. And Javi scores. Not exactly sure what happened.
Arguing that the time had been called. Craig Counsell's going to come out of the dugout.
It's 7-0. So Javi always heads up. Now the umpires may get together here, but apparently time was not called. Craig Counsell is probably not going to stop until he's kicked out.
I get the sense reading the body language of Craig that his heart's not really into it. Maybe starting to warm to the task now. hear those stories sometimes where a manager will go out there to argue and they'll say, look, I'm not leaving until you throw me out of here.
I love how they keep adjusting their masks.
Don't take your eyes off of El Mago. Council continuing to press it. There you go. There's the obligatory heave-ho. So let's see if we can sort out what went down here. First good bit of hitting by Kipnis, lofting this ball to the left. See, the key here is you got to make sure if you're Kyle that you go hard all the way, because there's a chance to make a play on Javi here at third. That would have ended the inning. And he's safe, and then Sogard. Ball gets loose somehow, some way.
So let's see what Sogard.
And a reminder, folks, we're not in the ballpark. We're in Chicago.
Oh, so he's saying we're throwing the ball out of play.
Okay.
Yep. He lobs it to second, and Javi, man, is he smart.
Wow. A sloppy game by the Brewers here today, both the physical and now mental miscues.
See how they score that. Maybe Kipnis will get another RBI out of it. I think he might get 2 RBIs on a sac fly. Yeah. Being a good teammate. Well, he just ran his way into another ribby for Kipnis.
And it's interesting scoring because it seems to me that that should be an error. I know you can't charge a mental error.
Right.
Throwing the ball to second base with a man on third, you might be able to argue is a physical error. Sogard is not having a good Sunday.
And now they've taken it away and made it a fielder's choice, which is kind of the catch-all decision when you don't have any other thing to call.
Fielder decided to throw the ball to the second baseman, thinking he had called timeout.
Fouled by Caratini.
Lopsided game so far here this afternoon. That has not been the case for the most part between these two clubs. A lot of tight, tough ball games.
Finding out who the acting manager is for Milwaukee. Pat Murphy is the bench coach for Craig Counsell, but he is recovering from a heart attack earlier this season. Resting comfortably at home.
Knowing Murph, if he's watching this game today, he's not as comfortable now.
No.
It's a tough one for any of the Brewers staff to sit through.
That's Andy Haynes, the hitting coach. Looks like he's in charge. He's got that look.
Yeah, immediately you become the acting manager. The hands go immediately to the hips.
Takes a strike. That pitch dropped by Nottingham.
Let's see, that's 5 walks issued by Brewer pitching today. A hit batter. They've committed 3 physical errors, 1 big mental miscue. Folks are going to argue that the Cubs have momentum based on their big win last night. Really, it's just been a horrible performance by the Brewers this afternoon.
Inside. And the other thing about Sogard tossing to second, it might be that they were going to appeal whether Baez left early on the tag play, but
the way he might,
the way he shook the ball, that's usually
throwing it out of play.
Throwing it out of play. Kind of did a little bit of both. And in the end, it bit them. By the way, we don't know for sure Andy Haynes is managing the club, but it might be a joint effort. He might be handling the offense and Chris Hook the pitching. Some on Twitter are wondering why Javi didn't get a stolen base, because the play had already occurred. Can't get a stolen base. You have to be on the next pitch. I mean, he kind of did steal a base, but not the rule book version. See, if the rule book weren't so ironclad, if they had just a little wiggle room, that would be a spot where you'd like to give a guy a stolen base. Yeah. Can't do it. Bodie, deep left. Is it fair? It is gone. 2-run homer. It's 9-0. Number 6 for David.
We've seen him do so much damage to the middle of the diamond. You think about that low fastball that he drives left center to right center. This time it's an elevated fastball that he gets on top of and pulls it right down the line. A home run brought to you by Hefty, ultra strong, ultra low price. Some high Wisconsin cheese. He gobbled it up.
The route is on.
From Little League to high school, college, to the minor leagues, to the big leagues, the universal sign from the pitcher after giving up the long ball. The dropped head.
Half grounds out to Hira. 4 more for the Cubs. Cubs lead them 9-0. Javi with the double and then the excellent base running. Welcome to our Budweiser broadcast booth. This Bud's for you. What a turnaround. Cubs looked like they might get shut out again last night, the big 9th inning, and all of a sudden more offense today.
Yeah, taking advantage of the sloppy play by the Brewers. Alec Mills has been outstanding. Now he's got a huge cushion to work with. And yeah, will look to be a day today where the Cubs are going to have to try to scramble to salvage a game of this series. Now, clearly in a position to win 2 out of 3.
1 out here in the Milwaukee 5th. The Brewers still without a hit. They have had 2 base runners on walks. That's it. Ben Gamble took one of those free passes and looks at ball 1. A win today and it would be a 5-5 season series split. In the air, that's a line out.
Well, despite some long innings of solitude in the dugout while his team hit, Alec Mills has continued to be very sharp here today, and it's our Geico making it look easy replay. The big right-hander, complete command of his stuff here today against this Brewer lineup. how deep he can go, and how long he can maintain this no-hit effort.
Up and in on Arcia.
Pitch count is in great shape. That was number 62.
Inside. Fouled away. 1, 2, 3 in the first. Again in the third. Trying to do the same here in the fifth. And right. So, time now for your T-Mobile ticket to the game. So Tuesday's probables coming up from beautiful Wrigley Field. Carlos Carrasco and Yu Darvish. Fourth in the league in earned run average. Yu coming off a loss, but he was really good against the Reds his last time out. Strike called on Anthony Rizzo. Aaron Savali and John Lester on Wednesday.
Just kind of hoping to see the Beebs pitch. Bieber-Darvish matchup, that would have been sweet.
Rising, his second inning of work. One of the strangest pitching lines you're ever going to see for Adrian Hauser. 4 innings plus, 4 hits, 7 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Missed the corner. Looking for a salvage here in the 6th. 3 strikeouts early. Down a play.
I mentioned Feyereisen from Wisconsin. It is college ball at Wisconsin Stevens Point. 3 players from that school to make it to the big leagues. Most notable, Jordan Zimmerman.
Called strike 3. That kind of day for Anthony.
Bring the magic of the friendly confines to your home by entering the Wrigley Field at Home sweepstakes each week through the end of the 2020 season. Fans are able to enter for their chance to win a set of Wrigley Field seats, a personalized jersey, an autographed baseball, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit Cubs.com/Wrigley Field at home to enter.
Contreras is 0 for 3. 2 of the outs made in the 4th inning, but the Cubs put up 5 runs in that frame. Strike 2. Feyereisen just falls almost completely off the mound on every pitch. First time you see it, it looks like he stumbled, and then you realize, no, he does that on every offer.
He might be vulnerable to a little drag bunt by a right-handed hitter.
Garcia will scoop. That's the other thing. Rizzo and Contreras are combined 0 for 8. The Cubs have scored 9 times. Everybody can't hit every day, but picked up by their teammates, including Kyle Schwarber, who's walked all 3 times.
Yeah, the story of the game is just the charity, right? The walks and the errors really set things up for the Cubs, and a couple key knocks. One long ball. Ooh, good change up there. Yeah, Bob Gibson fellow used to fall off to the first base side. Ended up having a pretty good career. Perfect world, you want a pitcher to finish square to home plate. Good fielding position. They always teach you once you turn the ball loose, you're now an infielder.
Schwarber strikes out. Cubs go.
Super Slow Mo is brought to you by Mattress Firm, where we help you rest easy. And that kind of day for the Brewers. All Cubs.
First pitch swing. Sogard grounds out. Happ goes to left from center. Schwarber's out. Billy Hamilton is now playing center.
Checking out his scouting report where he needs to be positioned for Sheriff Nottingham.
And a fastball for a strike. There have been, I count, 4 lineouts on Brewers bats. Jerko really got a hold of one in the second. Nice play by Happ in center. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 down.
Strikeout number 4 on the afternoon for Alec Mills. Goes upstairs with a heater to get Nottingham. Mentioned earlier, when you're pitching a game like Mills, when you have a big lead, if you fall behind in the count, you can just throw it in there and say, here, hit it. That's not going to be his mindset now. Now that he's got a 9-run lead and pitching a no-hitter, if he gets into a hitter's count, he's not going to give in. At least he shouldn't. His mindset should be, I'm going to continue to try to make pitchers pitches, and if I end up walking a guy, so be it.
On the ground. Cody let it go, and Baez fires just in time. Garcia thinks he might have beaten it. I think he's out. Cubs are heading off the field.
Yeah, a little bobble. Thank goodness, a strong arm of Baez. Able to sling that one over there just in the nick of time. Yikes. Got away with it.
No hits through 6. And a quick 1-2-3 for Mills. Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust, proud legacy partner of the Chicago Cubs and exclusive home of Cubs checking. Your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Through it all. Corey Knebel now working for Milwaukee. Reinstated from the injured list Tuesday at a left hamstring sprain.
So just one appearance is coming back. Missed all of last year with Tommy John surgery. 10 appearances, 7 2/3, and a high ERA.
Budweiser pitching change. Tommy John surgery April 3rd of last year.
.39 saves for the Brewers in 2017. Posted a 1.78 ERA that year. Next year, he was a dependable guy in their bullpen. Not quite as good as he was in 17.
Called strike threes. He dotted one on the outside. 96.
He thought this ball was outside. Might have had a point. You see Nottingham yank it back a little bit.
Hayward 1 for 2, walk, double, pop out, RBI, and a run. Fastball is high. Able from the stretch. Might have been a strike, but he made his catcher reach for it. Player profile brought to you by Verizon. Hayward has done a lot of good work on the road. Taylor, what do you have?
Well, last night when Hayward was talking about his home run, he said, all right, I do got to give a shout out to my boy, Freddie Freeman, who, of course, he's close with after his days in Atlanta. He said on his birthday, Freddie texted him and said, I'm going to hit a home run for you, and he delivered. And so Hayward wished Freddie a happy birthday earlier yesterday. Did not say he was going to hit a homer, but then was pleased that he did after the game. He texted him and said, I was happy to deliver a home run for you, although it was not promised.
Yeah, you don't want to overpromise. You'd rather overdeliver. And he was able to do that. Not only a home run, but a game winner off Josh Hader.
Yeah. Extra bonus points for that.
So after the Hayward walk, it's Kipnis. It's a breaking ball inside.
Enables a two-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball. Played collegiately at the University of Texas. He's a closer there, second all-time in saves. Houston Street. It's the all-time saves leader down in Austin.
Popped up. Over to get it is Arcia, the shortstop. 2 down.
Catcher, number 7, Victor Caratini.
At this point in the game, if you're Alec Mills, you don't mind your club having quick innings. You've got all the runs you need.
Yep.
You'd rather stay in rhythm.
Foul strike. Cubs have 9 runs on 5 hits. The bottom line is to score runs. It doesn't matter how many hits you have. It's something we tell you. However many runs on however many hits. The idea of scoring, no runs on 15 hits, that wouldn't be any better. It'd be a lot worse, in fact.
Terrible. Yes, you'd be chastised for not coming through in the clutch. As my college coach, the great Dick Rockwell, would say, taking the gas.
Two on Caratini. Full count.
Bright sunny day in Milwaukee, as it is here. Lovely day. I wish we were playing at home today.
Yeah, gorgeous. Deep center. Garcia back on it. Off the top of the wall. Hayward waved in. 10-0 on a double by Caratini. And oh, so close to a home run, which would have been his first.
Yeah, he might ask him to take a look at this one. I thought it got out initially. He got on top of that high fastball from Knebel. And he knocked the stuffings out of it and clearly was off the wall. Bottom of the wall. A stutter step around third by Hayward, but no biggie.
Curve is high to Bodie. Has 6 home runs this season.
Look out.
Really got away from Knebel.
Let's take a look at his last one. And StatCast powered by Google Cloud. He got on top of a high fastball. Usually he's better down than up, but he got that elevated heater. 97.5 miles per hour and 354. So not a long one, but counts just the same. Well, probably a little notation in the scouting report from the opposing clubs. Wait a minute, Bodie can hit a high fastball a long way.
Right field, Gamble. Stretch time from Milwaukee. Don't go anywhere, though. Alec Mills. Back out. Our game summary is brought to you by Wintrust, proud legacy partner of the Cubs and exclusive home of Cubs checking. Well, the starting pitching in this series, excellent. 2-run homer allowed by Kyle Hendricks to Ryan Braun last night. That's been it. Alec Mills starts the bottom of the 7th, having allowed 0 hits.
An impressive show by the starters for sure this weekend. We look at the breakdown pitches by inning for Alec. comfortably at 72 through 6. Do a little ciphering. That's a 12 per inning. That's really good. So he is positioned to take this one to the house.
Tricky part of the day in terms of the sight lines because of the sun coming through the panels off to the west, so I don't know if it affects the players as much as it does the viewers, but strike one. And 2 on Yelich.
Have a game going like Alec does here. You get in sync with the catcher. You kind of read each other's mind. There's no hesitation. Looking to throw what he puts down almost every time.
Backhanded play. Bodie got him. Struck out and walked.
Counting the double play ball, 9 outs on the ground for Mills here this afternoon.
Comes Hayward. You worry, at least I do in these spots. You worry more about the bloop than the blast, right, guy? It's one over the fence. It is what it is. But it's that little. You make your pitch, and
yeah, and it's really interesting. And I think we'd have a hard time conveying to fans exactly our setup here at Wrigley, but. You can see the ball leave the bat, but not being in the ballpark, sometimes it's hard to read the trajectory. Like that one left the my palms started to sweat a little bit when that ball was first put in play. I thought it was trouble. It turned out to be a very easy play. Control your emotions. Alec Mills is a finesse pitcher. You don't want to get caught up in trying to blow people away at this stage of the game. Continue to make your pitches. You've remarked on it a number of times. For a guy who hasn't been around that long, he displays a lot of composure.
Yep, he does. This is only his 15th career start.
And this is the precise situation I was talking about last inning. Big lead, normally you're going to give in here. Not now. Make your pitch.
Ball 4.
So what? Move on to the next guy.
Jerko takes a high strike. Cardinals have a 5-3 lead over the Reds. They're in the bottom of the 5th. At Busch Stadium.
Great pitch.
Yeah, infield pop-up. He's going to take a no-no. 10-0 Cubs lead. Brewers without a hit through 7. And here's your upcoming schedule brought to you by First Midwest Bank, helping you build momentum. Well-needed rest day tomorrow. 2 night games against the Indians. Off day Thursday. And then the Twins over the weekend. To wrap up the home schedule. Taylor now in center. Peterson in left. Garcia and Yelich are out. And the Budweiser pitching change. It is Drew Rasmussen.
6 games at the big league level for Rasmussen. He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries already. He is 25. He's from John Lester's hometown, Puyallup, Washington.
He lives in Oregon. A roller off the bat of Happ. For out number 1. For a preview on Cubs Post Game Live, Cole Wright.
Thank you, Len. Coming up on Cubs Post Game Live, we're going to focus on Alec Mills, who is pitching exceptionally well. And that's all that I have to say about that. Plus Mark Grace and Ryan Sweeney. They're going to break down the Cubs offense. 14 runs since the 9th inning last night. We'll have that and much more coming your way. That's on Cubs Post Game Live. Fellas?
Thank you, Cole. Referring to Alec Mills not allowing a hit through 7 in this one as Sogard in foul territory. He's got it. So Anthony makes contact for the first time today, but 0 for 5. And it'll bring up Contreras.
Designated hitter, number 40, Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, that 0 for 5 with 4 punch-outs doesn't sting quite as much. Your club has got a 10-0 lead.
Fouled away. 97. He looks calm. I don't know if he feels calm. He has been in command all day. I'll tell you that.
He's in the zone. Athletes talk about being in the zone where you can almost see the result before it happens.
Base hit to right. First reach for Contreras today.
Good batsmanship here.
Center fielder, number 6, Billy Hamilton.
Long through the zone. Solid single for Wilson.
And as is the ritual. Well, there's social distancing, but it's really no-hitter distancing.
Well, usually there's leave the pitcher alone distancing anyway. But yeah, certainly when a guy's pitching a no-hitter, the tendency is to keep a wide swath.
It's fun. You can see a starter at one point going, Do I need a breath mint or something?
Yeah,
Let
what's the
everybody
deal,
go.
fellas?
Billy Hamilton. It's a rare plate appearance. His first as a Cub. Went 1 for 22 with the Mets earlier this season. He's bounced around a bunch the last couple of years after a long run with the Reds. That's in. And Contreras has to hold it second. Back-to-back two-out singles. Hamilton hitting 1,000 as a Cub.
Yeah, welcome to the club, Billy Hamilton. He lashed to left.
Up, short right, and it's Gamble. Ten-0 Cubs lead, bottom of the 8th. This quality start brought to you by National Car Rental Speed Choice Control. Not officially a quality start because it's not over yet. But looking pretty good. Curve, strike to Ben Gamble, who lost his razor during the pandemic. Fouled away.
Well, that slow curveball sets up that 89-mile-an-hour fastball. We've seen a lot of that today. Brewer hitters just a little bit behind the heater because of the command of the secondary pitches. Exactly where he wanted to throw that breaking pitch.
It's only anecdotal. You can't say that there's any sort of firm evidence. But late in a non-perfect game, no-hit bid, it feels like guys want to swing because they want to hit.
Yeah, that becomes the goal on the other side. Just break up the no-no.
Gamble did not offer. Easy pop-up, foul territory. Caratini to grab. One away. Now for me, Arcia is the scariest guy now.
Yeah.
Because he can go out of the zone.
Yeah, makes a lot of contact, hits the ball all over the field.
Curve missed the inside. Still working with a really good pace.
They got benefit of the doubt on that fastball off the inside corner. Now he can go wide with the breaking ball, look for a chase. Jeez, crossfire heater. So stay on the edges.
Ground ball, backhanded Baez. He gets him 2 away in the 8th.
A couple innings ago, David Ross inserted Billy Hamilton in the game in center, moved Happ to left. His best defensive squad out there.
On the outside corner. 0-1 to Sogard.
We're on the edge of our seats. He's on the edge of the strike zone.
Oh, yeah. Strikes. The pitch. We'll do it again. So at 100 pitches on the day. Not a lot of stress.
No, the only stress now is the situation, right? He hasn't been under pressure from the Brewer hitters since the Cubs got that big lead. But now it's all internal. Bounce it. Didn't get it there. You saw Caratini before the pitch point to the dirt out in front of home plate. With a couple breaking balls in the zone. One to Gamble, now one to Sogard. He's been able to get away with it.
Long look at Caratini. And now time call.
This would be a time, if there's any indecision, to have a chat. Get together, make sure you're on the same page.
Popped up on the infield, David Bodie. Woo! Let's go to the 9th inning. The undercard is the top of the 9th. The main event still to come. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop's going to pitch here in the 9th, as the Brewers have a lot of innings to cover coming up. And they're down 10-0. 47 miles an hour on that fastball for ball 1.
I think that's his changeup.
This is his second appearance of the season.
His mandate. Twofold. Don't hurt your arm and make sure you're ready to defend yourself on a comebacker. Ooh, got a little Johnny Cueto. Jason tried to wait as long as he could. Wants to throw a hook. I don't think the catcher really needs to know what he's going to throw.
So a little levity before the bottom of the 9th. That'll be a base hit for Hayward.
That is the fourth time Jason has been on base here today. 2 knocks, 2 walks. An elusive ground ball.
Second baseman, number 27.
And the Cubs have all they want. Alec Mills would prefer this top half of the inning go quickly. I don't know that it will with Arcia out there pitching. Introducing the ball into play, maybe a better way to phrase it.
Strike call.
It's kind of what the early days of baseball looked like. In the earliest of days, the pitch was made underhand.
Kipnis into the corner. It is a fair ball. And Hayward could easily have scored, although I think that ball may have gone out of play.
Yeah, it did. It jumped up over the wall.
So that is a double for Kipnis. Second and third, nobody out.
Catcher, number 7, Victor Caratini.
He's had a big day. After a strikeout in the third, RBI single in the fourth, walk in the fifth, RBI double in the seventh. He's scored twice, and he's catching a no-hit bid through 8.
Can't wait to see the StatCast report on Arcia's pitching outing here today. I don't know what the spin rate is on that 47-mile-an-hour pitch.
There's 80 on that heater. As Hayward scores, it's 11-0.
Third RBI of the day for Caratini.
So you were right. It was a changeup.
Third baseman, number 37.
First pitch. That had the look of that Chris Siegel call of let's move this along. Center field, tagging at third. And trotting home is Kipnis. It's 12-0. Sac fly for Bodie. Well, I don't remember in Cincinnati. Did the Reds have a position player pitch when Jake threw his second no-hitter? It was 16-0.
Yeah, that was one of the most lopsided no-hitter games ever. I don't remember.
Well, every game is different. There's a little unique twist that separates it from all the others. It's April 21st of that year. And they did not use a position player in that game to pitch.
Nottingham's trying to frame that one.
That draws the walk.
First baseman, number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
Arcia, I think, hearing it from the Cubs dugout. Throw harder.
Little soft toss.
Rizzo needs a knock.
Yeah.
He's 0 for 5.
Yeah, he's not going to apologize for getting a hit off Arcia.
No.
Gelso's not going to get it.
They get him at first. We're going to keep it here. as Alec Mills will head back to the mound, leading 12-0. Let's look at how Mills has done it today through 8.
Yeah, it's interesting. The narrative of this game obviously has changed as we moved along. The storyline early was sloppy Brewer play, a lot of walks, a lot of errors, leading to Cubs offense. But somewhere around the middle frames of this game, Alec Mills became the story, and he's got a chance to make history here this afternoon. And the Brewers, 3 or 4 balls pretty well, but for the most part, the story has been soft contact induced by Mills. He's used all his pitches effectively. A lot of curveballs today. It seems to me his last outing, which was 6 scoreless against the Reds, we saw a lot of sliders. But slow curves, elevated fastballs, some weak pop-ups, plenty of outs on the ground. That was a scary moment there as Javi waited back, and Javi Garcia almost beat that ball out for an infield hit. Trying to make history, not a bad idea to have him hit it on the ground in the general vicinity of Javi Baez. One batter, one pitch at a time is easier said than done. What's in front of Alec Mills right now? 8 hitless innings. He has 1 complete game in his professional career. That happened in A-ball. He's not thrown a shutout as a professional. And he's going for the whole ball of wax here this afternoon.
Cubs pitchers have dealt 15 no-hitters, going back to Larry Corcoran in 1880. In fact, Corcoran threw the first 3 in franchise history in 80, 82, and 84.
Thrown 1 at Miller Park, but it wasn't against the Brewers.
Nope, it was against the Houston Astros. Carlos Zambrano, 2008. It was the first ever neutral site no-no. So here we go. Jacob Nottingham takes ball 1.
Wife Paige, son Carter, all kinds of Mills family and friends glued to their television sets, no doubt, with sweaty palms. Stay in here.
Rizzo will make the catch. 1 away.
Just think about his family. Again, we talked about Alec earlier in the ball game, a walk-on at Tennessee Martin. And then a long journey to the big leagues. Tommy John surgery, DFA'd by the Royals.
Tyrone Taylor's first plate appearance. Well, that has been a big pitch for Mills. That get me over slow curve to start the count.
Guys, don't go up there looking for it. You can find the zone. It's a great way to get the jump on a hitter. Yeah, it could have been.
If you're nervous, you should be.
If you're not paying attention.
That's right.
But that's, in this moment when there's so much adrenaline and you see a lot of guys trying to finish games like this and they just start heaving fastballs up here, to have that touch on the curveball is pretty darn impressive.
The 1-2 serve. He got him swinging. 2 down.
Earlier in the game, there's a couple opportunities to throw the fastball inside, and he couldn't quite execute the pitch. Lately, he has been able to do it. Pop-up of Jerko back in the 7th. Fastball in on the hands. Here's another good runner, down and in. Gets the chase. The swing and miss.
Jace Peterson with 2 outs, 9th inning.
Strike
Ball
1. Strike 1. Man, that was a good pitch.
He is 1 out away. Pitch 111.
Again, don't give in.
5 strikeouts, 3 walks. This will be the 29th batter he's faced. Change up
Good try.
low.
Good try. Almost got him to bite. 2-seamer down and away.
Taken all the way. It's 3-1. Deep breath. 3 balls and a strike. Up the middle. Baez has it. It's a no-hitter. The former college walk-on has made history in Milwaukee.
What a moment for Alec Mills. My goodness. No social distancing needed here, boys. Hugs and high fives. Alec Mills never thrown a complete game at the big league level. He goes complete game, shutout, no-hitter. Making history here this afternoon. My goodness, what a moment.
Such poise for Alec Mills. What a moment. The 16th no-hitter in Chicago Cubs history, the 2nd at Miller Park, the 1st by a Cub since Jake Arrieta back in 2016.
Yeah, ball was pretty sharply hit, but Javi perfectly positioned out there behind second base to gobble that up and let the celebration begin.
He's not Alec Mills, he's Alec Blanking Mills.
He's
on top of the world.
He is Sir Alec Mills. I think I saw Javi yell before he even made that play. Like, we got this. Oh, that is special. That is so good.
Handshakes and hugs from everybody. And the Cubs went 2 of 3 this weekend. How about these 2 games? The 9th inning comeback last night, and then the gem spun by Mills today. So Alec Mills now top of the list, the most recent no-no by a Cub. Arrieta had 2. Zambrano in 2008. Milt Pappas has the last Cubs no-hitter at Wrigley Field. And there has been one at Wrigley since then. That was Cole Hamels in his final start as a Philadelphia Philly in 2015.
Yeah, and if you had Alec Mills and who's going to throw the next no-hitter for the Cubs pool, well, bully for you. I'm sure as this news spreads around and say, hey, Cub threw a no-hitter, somebody's going to think, well, it had to be Darvish. Darvish, maybe Hendricks. Was it John Lester? No, it was Alec Mills. He's like, let's keep going.
Peter Chase is bringing Alec over, and we're going to hear from the man of the hour. 9 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 114 pitches, 74 for strikes. And Taylor McGregor, take it away.
All right, thanks, Len. Alec, will you just describe for us what you are feeling in this moment right now? Can you hear us, Alec? You got us? You have us, Alec?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Okay, will you just describe for us what you are feeling in this moment right now?
I have no idea yet. It just hasn't really hit me yet. It's kind of crazy. I didn't even know how to celebrate. Just something that all came together today. And obviously a memory I'll have forever.
At what point in the game did you realize you had the chance to do something special today?
I think after the 6th inning, I realized I didn't have any hits. but I think it didn't really hit me until after the 7th, kind of walking off the mound. The heartbeat kind of went up a little bit, had to relax and calm down. But yeah, I'd say after the 7th is when I really felt it.
So in the 7th, then you're starting to look towards the rest of the game. Was there any hitter in particular you were worried about facing, or did you just try to keep the heartbeat normal?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was looking ahead too much. Kind of surprised me. Taylor hitting there, and then Peterson, I had no idea they were in the game. So when they announced Tyrone, it was one of those things that kind of surprised me. I think I turned around and realized what happened.
What was working so well for you today as you were attacking the hitters?
I think curveball was my pitch today to get ahead early, especially. This may sound weird, but it was kind of a struggle early to find my mechanics. Fastball command wasn't really there. And then kind of figured something out, clicked in like the 4th inning, and then I feel like I had fastball the rest of the night where I wanted it. So obviously finishing the game with that was what I would take, so it was good.
All right, we got to go to the end of the game. The 9th inning, when you're sitting in the dugout about to go out there for the final 3 outs, what would you describe your emotions to be like?
I think heart was racing a little bit. Just tried to relax and calm down and make it seem like it was the same inning as it has been all day. Treat it the same as I have all day. Tough to say that's what it felt like. I think it was more just trying to relax and keep the heartbeat down.
If somebody would have told you when you were a walk-on in college at Tennessee Martin that you would go on to throw a no-hitter in the big leagues, what would you have told them?
I definitely would have told them they were crazy. It's kind of surreal how everything's happened. But everything happens for a reason, and I wouldn't change any of it. I think, being a walk-on made me who I am today. I think, they gave me a chance there, and then other teams have given me a chance, and, I'm just going to keep working to make them right.
Your journey is so special when you consider the adversity that you have faced in order to get here. When you look back, what would you say that you've learned and something you would pass on to someone else who is going through adversity right now?
Never give up. I think that's the biggest thing. Never give up. Some people are going to tell you can't do it or you're not good enough, but that's just one person. So just keep working and, just persevere.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations, and have fun celebrating this evening. We'll send it back to you, Len.
All right, Taylor,
yeah,
thanks.
thank you. It'll be fun.
Thank you, Alec Mills. What a performance. Cubs win 12-0. Look at Javi. He was excited before the final throw. We'll be back.